Hello everyone. Obviously this week we're going to get right back into the regular normal zaps. No coming out day video specials, no learning more about me things, nothing weird going on, nothing special, just a regular old normal zap with me, answering one question. And this week's question actually comes from someone called Another Matt, who asks, how did you build enough confidence to push past the weird looks people seem so eager to fire in the direction of a gay couple walking together? The answer to this is kind of hard, because I can't really say that I honestly know how I did that. And it's true, I really don't. I do not care, to an extent, what other people think, as long as I feel that I am not infringing upon their rights or doing something that is indecent. And sometimes, PDA, public displays of affection, for those of you who still haven't heard of the term, can cross that line. It can certainly get very inappropriate in public, and there are things that I see that, gay couples, straight couples, anybody does that seems a little bit too far to me, and I can understand anybody looking at that and going, oh, that's a little bit too explicit. But, things like holding hands, or things like light pecks on the cheek, things that we sort of take for granted with straight couples. I think that should be perfectly fine for a gay couple to do, for anybody to do. And things like that, I don't think anyone should really get too bent out of shape about. And as long as I'm doing things like that I feel are okay and that other people should not have an issue with, if they end up having an issue with it, I really don't care. To the extent that people allow straight couples to do something, holding hands, being physically close, light pecks on the cheek, nothing too graphic. I think that's fine, and that should be accepted for any couple. And really, if anybody has an issue with that, that speaks more to their inability to adjust to something new that they're seeing. If you're seeing something new and your first inclination is to go, ew, look at that, look at what they're doing over there, oh my god! How are you going to get through life? You're going to have to surround yourself by people who are basically the same as you in an environment that, is kind of like a nice, tight, clean little plastic bubble, and never really go anywhere new, do anything new, and you're just going to have sort of a flat line of life experience, and for some people that's all that they can handle. Which is unfortunate, and I think if you can be at peace with the fact that people like that exist, then that is going to greatly affect your ability to be okay with that reaction, to accept it when it happens, and to not let it affect you too much. This ends up sounding kind of like a parent talking to their kid about bullying. It really depends on what kind of premium you put on other people's opinions. And if other people disapproving of something you're doing gets to you, then yeah, you're gonna have a problem, understandably. I think really what it comes down to is the more that you can be at peace with the variety of other people's reactions to things, the better off you're gonna be in general, not just as an LGBT individual, not just as a person who is with someone romantically out in public, but just in general. I think it's healthy to an extent, to not care so much about the little reactions that you get to things that you do. Of course, this is sort of specific to the United States and not to other countries where the reaction might end up being a bunch of people chasing you down the street with pitchforks. So obviously take my advice in moderation, dependent upon where you live. And that really just about does it for this week's Zap. It's kind of a simple answer to this question and sort of a general answer to this question. And in answer to the other question that you might be asking, there is a reason why I look like this. I don't want to tip my hand too much, but you guys will find out on Wednesday. And I think I'm going to put a link right here over this Lowell Omni box in the back for you guys to find out why I look like this. And it will become active on Wednesday. And this will, I'm sure, be explained pretty quickly. So rest assured, I'm fine. This is not my blood or anybody's blood, anybody important. I will see you guys next week on Monday back here. Be sure to tune in the rest of this week to the other ZAP panelists that will answer this question without blood on them. And obviously, if you have a question for these ZAP shows, email me at mailmichelli@gmail.com. And until next week, try to stay out of the dark.